Hey up guys, so continuing my Cannes Film Festival coverage from my bedroom, today's film I'm going to be discussing is the latest film from Alex Garland, who gave us Annihilation and Ex Machina. His latest film, Men, is a rural set horror about a woman called Harper, played by Jessie Buckley, who has just undergone a traumatic tragedy. Her husband James, played by Papa Ezadu, fell to his death from their London flat. So Harper decides to rent a house in the county of Herefordshire from a chap called Geoffrey, played by Rory Kinnear. But once Harper gets settled into this place, she realizes the village of Cotson isn't as quaint as it first appears. Did anybody else have the 2.5 Men song stuck in their head for days after watching this film, or was it just me? Men, 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 manly men, 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 manly men. Ooh, 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 ooh. Normal! It feels like Alex Garland was heavily inspired by Jordan Peele's Get Out with Men. It follows a similar structure to Get Out in that a protagonist goes to an unfamiliar area and is subjected to some uncomfortable stuff. There's even the imagery of the dead deer, as well as actual dialogue where characters are saying, "Get out!" But where Get Out was a biting commentary on white liberal racism, Men doesn't seem as focused on what it is it's trying to say. Is this a story about the journey of grief? Is it a commentary on domestic abuse? Is it a story about guilt and forgiveness? Yes, to all of those, but not all of it coalesces together. I had a few issues with the film, but I came out of Men liking it more than disliking it. I admire the ambition of Garland's story, and I think his direction is excellent. He's clearly put a lot of thought into his shots. So many of the shots carry a lot of meaning, but the subtext isn't always very subtle. For example, there's a lot of red imagery in this film. The color of blood, anger, power, rage, all the things that Harper is dealing with. There's a telling shot at the beginning of the film where Harper eats an apple from Geoffrey's apple tree. The biblical connotations are apparent, what with Eve and the Garden of Eden, but Alex Garland felt the need to point it out. He even has Geoffrey say, "Mustn't do that, forbidden fruit." And I just don't think Garland needed to be so obvious about it. Like, he should just trust his audience to get it on their own. But Harper eating the apple is symbolic because she's about to be punished. And lastly, I had to look up the word for this, but there's a lot of Yannick imagery in this, and Yannick being a term for vagina or vulva imagery. I knew what phallic was, and now I know the opposite, Yannick. But yeah, that tunnel shot, rocks, caves, flowers, slits, gashes, even a nighttime shot of the Milky Way in full bloom, it's all very metaphorical. The performances in this are stellar. Jessie Buckley, no surprise here, gives a really nuanced portrayal of someone haunted by guilt and regret. It's performances like this which is putting Jessie Buckley on the fast track to becoming a household name. But it's Rory Kinnear who steals this film for me anyways, because he plays a village worth of characters. Like, literally, Rory Kinnear has so many different parts in this film. Like, he plays Geoffrey, but he also plays a vicar, a copper, a young boy, and even a nude man who stalks Harper around her house. Now that is range. Geoffrey was probably the standout character, mostly because he gets a lot of the screen time, but also he provides the film with most of the laughs as this very country, very dorky man called Geoffrey, who has a catalogue of corny expressions ready to go, like M4, dreadful chore, and I guess you don't have legal tender. I think I laughed the loudest in the screening at Cannes at that joke, because legal tender is just a very British saying, and yeah, I don't think the French audience quite got it, but I appreciate it. But yeah, Men is to Rory Kinnear what Split was for James McAvoy, a chance for him to show off his versatility and range, playing numerous characters, having fun with it as well. He's funny, but he's also unnerving and scary at times. Excellent performance from Rory Kinnear, but that's no surprise. He's always amazing. I actually think he's a really underrated actor, but I'm hoping a role like this helps his career to be in bigger projects, because he really is a phenomenal talent who's a bit underrated. Also, I need to praise the hair and makeup team. I won't say specifically why, because spoilers, But there is some incredible makeup in this film. The special effects and the visual effects were really good. Alex Garland has prioritized using more practical effects than computer ones, but when he does use visual effects, they're used sparingly, but they look really good and they're tremendously well implemented. As for negatives, my biggest complaint with this film was the ending, which I'm not sure what to make of. I'm not sure if I fully got it. Without spoiling it for you, one of Rory Kinnear's characters becomes like this woodland creature thing. Not sure what that was about. Like, how did that relate to anything which was going on? There's something in the finale that involves a birth, and I'm not sure I got that either. Am I too thick or obtuse to understand what was going on? Is it blatantly obvious, or am I not the only one who didn't understand the ending? If you can explain the ending to me, yeah, pop it in the comment section down below. I would love to get an explanation on what happened. So, let's ask the 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch it again? Yeah, I think I would. I think this is the type of film that I need a second viewing to help me understand it better. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Men works best as a showcase of Jessie Buckley and Rory Kinnear's abilities as actors. It's worth watching for their performances alone. The film does get a bit lost in what it is it's trying to say. Also take into account that there is some graphic, bloody, gross stuff in this, so it's not for the faint of heart. And third question, what score to give it out of 10? I admire what Garland was going for, but I don't think it all came together as tidily as he thought it did. But still, it's a gorgeously shot film with some top caliber performances from Jessie Buckley and Rory Kinnear. And I was entertained, it just didn't quite stick the landing for me, so I'm gonna give Men a score of 6 out of 10. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. I would love to hear your thoughts on Men. Are you excited for this film? Have you seen it? What did you make of it? Whatever you have to say, let your voice be heard in that comment section down below. If you have enjoyed the video, help support the channel by hitting that like button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And if you want to follow me on any of my socials, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all those links in that video description down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Yannick Imagery, and I'll see you next time.